Hey everyone, welcome back. We're gonna have fun today because we're just, talking, having a conversation and whatever's going on in our lives. And I feel like a lot of time it's about balancing, showing up, building. We're all really high performing people. And we also are like, we also have lives. I think everyone has a life, right? So, how do we turn it off? How do we balance? I think a lot of times too, it's, people kind of throw like, oh God, people don't say throw shade anymore, but like,
That's not cool.
not cool to say that anymore. But like, people talk down about like the whole balance thing. Like, it's not, you're not supposed to say balancing because I don't know. People say harmony, working harmony. I don't know. I think it's balance though, right? Do you guys think it's balancing?
That's how I see it,
That's
balance.
what we're doing. So
Yeah.
why do people talk bad about it? Anyways, okay. So my question to you guys is how do we balance? How do you feel like you're doing like really productive and like how do you not let because I feel like my family, my kids get the shitty end of the stick. I put all into my work and then they get what's left over and then it's frustrating. So I'm actually really working on that right now. But I want to hear from you guys. What are you guys doing that's helping you?
Yeah, I can feel for you, Kaylee, because that's how I feel too. My kids, I feel like they get the short end of the stick. And because I've got work, I've got clients I work with, and how do I and I also homeschool them. So how do I also do a good job there? And when things are not going well, I feel like I'm doing everything in my life a little bit worse. Like everything gets a little bit worse. But when I'm killing it, everything's going really well. But
So when you're
I
killing it, what are
found
you doing?
I found that I really have to schedule out the hours of my day. So there are certain hours that I do work. There are certain hours that we're doing school. There's certain hours that we're doing sports and baseball, and there's certain client hours. And if I tend to fall outside of those hours, or I don't get to them, or if I'm sick or whatever, it ruins everything to fall outside of those hours.
I'm at a different point in life than you 2 are because my kid is an adult now, but looking back, it was such a struggle, and I wish I would have more. I've learned through the years just to say, "Okay, well, I have something I have to do tonight, work gets shut off." Like, this evening is not about work, don't look at your emails, don't look at your team's message, don't look at anything. I wish I would have done that more when he was little, but it took me many years to get to that point where it was just like, "Nope, tonight is for my family or tonight is for whatever I'm doing and work doesn't matter." But I stick with specific work hours anyways, and I always have, like, I work from this time to this time, and so I know that I feel safe now shutting it off at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know that we have employees here, one in particular I'm thinking of that's really good about it. Like, once she's gone, you cannot get a hold of her at all. Not by phone, not by text, not by Slack, not by nothing. If she goes on vacation, she's out. She never checks anything. And she's just really good of compartmentalizing her life. And I kind of envy that of her. And of you, Melissa, because even if it's 10 o'clock at night, if I get an email that comes in, I'll go and respond to it.
I don't do it all the time. So, and it is the higher you get up in your company, the more work responsibilities you have. It is harder to do that. And so I don't do it all the time. I pick and choose what those important nights are, right? If it's my son and I are going out and spending the day together, that's number one priority to me and I'm not available. But my team knows that there are days that I am available, and if I am, that I will answer them.
so it's just taking that, like having that collaboration with your team and the people you work with, setting those boundaries. And I'm super, I don't know about you guys, but I hate when there's numbers by all my apps. So I have to like constantly clear them. So I
Yes.
actually worked on turning off the notifications. So there's not even, I just mentally, because even if there's a notification or not, I know I need to go on LinkedIn. I know I need to check my email. So I don't need it on my phone telling me that there's 10 different things. I mean, I'm so OCD that it bugs me. So that's
Yeah.
helped me a lot turning off the notifications. One thing too, like hearing you guys on like just being more intentional about that time that you're going to take with your son or like the hours for homeschooling, like you said, Charity was I've outlined the 4 categories of my life, like, the goals where you have your health, you have finance, career, and personal. And personal, a lot of times that falls into like your family, or maybe it should be categorized as family. But I think when you outline your life and your goals in that way, and you really like work on it every week, like this is what I want to work on this week with my family. It You can just see a difference. It's been I've obviously been working on health and like, career. That's always what I'm always working on. But like when I outline my family goals, I'm like, what? It feels weird to write down my goal is to be a good mom. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's our goal, right? To be a good person, a good mom. Now we kind of have to break that down. Like, what does that mean to us? What are the actions that will make us feel like we're being a good mom or a better person, human in the world? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
that's
always thought it was, you have to make them every meal, you have to, read with them every night, you have to, go through your Bible study, all the different things. And now I'm learning as my 11-year-old gets older, like, you need to make your own lunch. You need to watch your brother from this time to this time. You need to be more responsible. And he's carrying more of the weight, which I'm finding very helpful, as opposed to always being the one that does absolutely everything. He even does his own laundry.
and I
Nice.
bet you're doing it in a way that makes him excited to be helpful to his mom and dad too. I mean, but a lot of the stuff falls onto us. Let's be real.
Yeah, it does. It does. But yeah, he does feel more responsible. And I don't think I know any of his friends that do their laundry or make their own meals, but learning how to cook and things like that, it's become a lifesaver. And then he can also do that kind of thing for his brother too. If his brother is hungry, you get him a snack. And on Saturday mornings, you wake up and you go downstairs with your brother, you get cereal going or whatever it may be, and you sit together and you let us sleep in, and I remember doing that as a kid. I remember waking up and all the kids were in the living room watching cartoons and eating cereal while the parents were still in bed. So I kind of have that dream for me.
Well, teaching them their life skills obviously is very important, but also it frees up a little bit of your time to actually spend some quality time with them because they're not going to remember when we're gone the time we cooked them dinner and did their laundry, but they're going to remember the time we sat down and played a game with them or we went somewhere with them and we just spent some actual quality time, right?
Especially if it's repetitive. It's like, oh, every Sunday, we played Chinese checkers or we read together. I think those are memories that are built over time. I had a post that I put out a while back on LinkedIn about memory dividends, which was about kind of investing in good experiences for yourself and your family and how those build up over time, which I thought was a really beautiful thought, as opposed to just thinking about that only for your investment accounts.
Mm, I like that. That's really interesting. And so the other thing I kind of wanted to bring up too was, we obviously showing up online and building a business or whatever we're doing, building, it's like something there's a lot of pressure with that. And then that comes with the balance. So like how do you balance the showing up online? Because part of the showing up online isn't just posting, we can all agree. It's engaging. That's actually more important than posting is engaging.
That's where I struggle right there, the showing up online. It's the least of my priorities, it seems to be where it needs to, I think it needs to go up in the priority list a little bit. But I'm struggling finding I feel guilty sitting there and I feel like I'm scrolling on Facebook when I'm scrolling through it, right? So it just seems like it's not something that I'm making a priority and I need to.
Why do you
Yeah.
feel like why do you feel like you need to make it a priority? Like what is showing up and engaging do for you?
I think it's that whole showing your brand, making your company well known. I feel like LinkedIn is very important for the company, but it just feels so, and like I said, it feels like I'm scrolling on Facebook and it makes me feel guilty half the time for taking the time out of the workday when my team is busy and they need other things for me to be scrolling on LinkedIn. That's the balance I'm really having a hard time finding.
Maybe when you get on LinkedIn, you need to have like some action item list that you do so that you don't feel like you're just scrolling. Because
Maybe.
I'm guilty of just scrolling, but there are certain people that I have on my list that I'm kind of targeting. I'm not like stalking them, but I do like go on their profile, see what they're up to. People will see, like, I wonder if Kaylee's stalking me. Um, but, like, having some action items, and I've also added to my weekly list too to send recommendations to people that I am connected with and I've had good experience with, and I'm looking at it more of, like, a gratitude way, like, I'm really appreciative of this person, they did this for me, or, my interaction with them was really awesome, like, sharing that, so then maybe you feel like it's more not like work, but it's fun work, but, like, not so much scrolling.
Well, I think I've shared before that every morning when I come in, I'll clear my email out, I'll go through all of those, and then I'll spend 15 minutes just on LinkedIn, engaging with whatever LinkedIn feeds me, checking up on various posts that I've been following. It could be my own or other people's. And I make it intentional to comment on about 5 other posts.
Yeah,
And
that's a good
and some days there's a lot, and then other days there's not much.
it's like you're forcing yourself sometimes. At least I know sometimes. I set at least 10. Like, comment, not just like, "Oh, I like this," but like an actual really good, well thought out comment, at least 10 a day. And that's where the scrolling comes in. I don't like seek out certain people for those. Like, I just whatever it feeds me. Um, and then constantly like, am I connected with this person? I really like what they had to say, and like really like looking, or who's viewing my profile. Did they not connect with me? I need to I just press connect because you looked at my profile.
Yeah. There's a lot more than just job seekers on LinkedIn. There's people who are trying to grow their careers and expand their networks. So it's worth it to take the 15 minutes. And I don't consider it, like I'm just, burning time at work because it would not be something I would normally do in my off time.
Right. And I used to, so that was when the times I was really active on LinkedIn, it was more in my spare time that I would do it. But I'm currently have a second business that I started and that's taken up most of my evenings, and now I'm trying to show up online for that business
Oh,
too.
yeah.
So it's a lot. It's a lot going on, and I'm currently struggling with finding that balance only because I'm having the 2 businesses that I'm dealing with.
Think when you're struggling with it, I think we always go back to blocking the time out on our calendars and like making that time for it. Because if you don't put it on your calendar or if you don't put it somewhere, it's just like never going to happen. Right now, I'm looking at my calendar. I have my written calendar for the day. I like
Yeah.
put it in 2 places. And then you have all those ideas and things that come to you or things you need to accomplish in between all the meetings and things that, like, what am I going to do all this stuff?
Yeah. And 15 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but then you're doing 15 minutes of all kinds of things all day long. And all of a sudden, 15 minutes is a lot of time to spend doing something, So you really have to pick and choose what's important to you. And maybe not every day is the right way to approach it. Maybe it's more of a 2 to 3 day a week thing.
I think in my head, what I do is I tell myself I have to do this every single day, and then I have to post this much, and I have to do this, and I have to do this, and then I just shut down and think I don't have the time for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like overthinking and then you get frozen and you're like, "Well, I'm just not gonna do anything at all because it's just overwhelming." So, yeah.
Do you think, though, in the world of balance, you suffer the most? Your work gets a great amount of energy, your family gets a great amount of energy, chores need to be done and sports need to be handled, and then all of a sudden you're last.
Yeah, 100%. And that's where, like I said, as I get older, I'm learning that there's certain things that need to be cut out. So, like, the one thing that I did that you guys probably should do is my emails, I don't receive a notification on my phone when I get a new email. I turned that off. If my team needs me, text me. If I'm off, text me if it's an urgent thing that you need because I am not getting those notifications. If I have time to check my email, a lot of times I'm laying in bed at night scrolling through and I'll check my email like you do and I'll respond to things if I need to, but I don't get that notification and then there's not that pressure on me. The emails
Yeah.
can wait. If it's
Wow.
urgent, they'll call me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I also found scheduling out, like, I'll do the same thing. I'll kind of look through things at night and I'll just schedule them out so that they don't see that I'm responding now. Cause a lot of times I don't want a response right now at 10 o'clock at night. I just want to schedule it and then we'll deal with it later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that does help.
I like to leave them marked unread. That way I do remember to go back and look at them again.
Yeah, yeah. I file things. I file things if I've dealt with them, so I know that anything in my inbox, whether it's read or unread, needs to be dealt with still, but yeah.
Kind of want to go back to because we kind of breezed over it that we ourselves like we talked about family kind of getting the short end of the stick, but what about us? Like we are always last personally, and I'm trying to think through like what am I doing that's for me that has improved lately? And I think it was changing my morning routine and health and focusing on my health. I mean, that's for ourselves, right? So, like, just waking up earlier than everyone and getting a head start, the gratitude, adding that back in. And not that I wasn't grateful before, but like physically writing gratitude just totally changes. Even if, like, some days I'm like looking at it now, I feel like I write the same like 5, 10 things every day, but it just feels good to do it, and then I just added in affirmations, writing 10 affirmations because that just makes you feel more confident, and you're like, "Yes, I got this. I'm good. Good salesperson. A good mom." I say great,
Yeah.
but yeah, it
Yeah,
just
that's a
helps.
smart thing to do because it's tough. I recently did that too. I've been working out again and trying to eat better and I do end up being very last. And it's really hard because there's just not enough time or energy in the day to focus on all of it. And I was just thinking the other day, I need to like make it a point. Go get a
Yeah.
pedicure. Like, go do it and, take care of yourself, out with a friend. Make it something that you wanna do and not just something you're doing to for your kids or for something else.
Well, or maybe that's like your reward for, working out and doing like making healthier choices for the week. You like reward yourself for a pedicure because that's not something you normally do. So it's like you look forward to it and then that's like two wins because you're working on yourself and then you're also rewarding yourself with something that's for you. That's actually a good idea because I'm always like, what can I reward myself with if I achieve these things that I'm working on? Because every week I look at, okay, where am I falling short? And so what do I need to work on for that week in the 4 core categories? If I add another category, I think I'm gonna lose my shit. I have to I can't focus on one category of my life. I feel like I will fail at the other category. So I always have to have those 4 categories. I'm working on something. And yeah, feels like a lot, but it's not once you break it.
Yeah, and practicing gratitude, Kaylee, is a big one, and I agree with that, like, being very grateful. I feel like myself, but also a lot of people I know are just not grateful the way that they should be. And I'll give you a quick story.
Yeah.
I know someone who has a beautiful view of the coastal bay and it's just gorgeous. And she turned to me and she said, "Yeah, I don't even really look at it anymore." And I thought that was so sad. I was like, "You don't even look at it anymore. It's your own view. You see it every day. You're so used to it that you just ignore it and you've lost your appreciation for it." And I think about that because it really hit me when she said that to me because I have a beautiful view and I make it a point every day to enjoy it. Because I'm so grateful for it. Because I've been in hole in the wall offices that have been really awful under fluorescent lights. And I'm super grateful just for even the little things too.
Yeah. It makes a difference to say that. And, thinking about because I always think about the other side, she might not be grateful. She maybe I'm trying to think of like how do I want to describe this? Like, I don't even know what I want to say.
Well, you may be trying to say like she's sort of maybe it's like a brag type of thing? Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this great view, it doesn't it's not a big deal," type of
It's
thing.
not yeah, they're trying to like blow it off like non but it's like it
Yeah,
is
but that's not how I perceived it. How I perceived it was, "Wow, you've lost your graciousness."
Yeah,
with what you have. And, we could all be in so much worse situations, places, around people. So I make it a point with my kids too. Be grateful. You have no idea. You could be plucking cobalt out of some slum, in the Congo right now. Like you are doing really well.
yeah. Smells good. Like, you have to really feel it. I think that's what like, when I find myself writing kind of the same things, I'm like, I really try to take a step back and, like, feeling, smelling, seeing, and then, like, adding. And I overthink it too. Sometimes I'm like, "Oh gosh, if someone read this," but I'm like, "No one's gonna read this." I mean, I guess if I die, I'll read it maybe. But I am working on creating my own planner though, because I don't know about you guys. I've tried so many different planners and there's so many different, things that are helpful. And I have to have it or super organized. And so I'm customizing it because I need to. I just need to add all the things in my life that I need to do. So that's something I'm working on. It's helping the balance.
Yeah.
When you said earlier that your family gets the short end of the stick, what do you think that they're missing from you that you're not giving them enough time at?
Oh, they get the temper and, like, the frustration. Like, I lash out, I'm impatient, I'm overstimulated, because by the end of
Tired.
the day, you're just like when you go and you're sitting in front of the computer and you're on meetings, you're just like, ugh, like, that's how I feel,
Yeah.
like, ugh, like a zombie, like, okay, dinner, okay, snack, like, you know? I just
Yeah.
like so they get that frustration. So I'm really working on, ending my work when my daughter gets home so that I can do homework with her and I'm not so like, like, oh God, I gotta still do all these things and like putting those things off because it's like they don't some of those things don't have to get done. There's gonna be emergencies, right? But most of the time we don't need to do all those things right then. We can schedule them out. So that's kind of
Yeah.
what I meant. Yeah.
I feel that way too, in the sense that, like, I'm so busy that for lunch, okay, here's a hot dog. It takes 10 seconds to heat up in the microwave. Here's some carrots and some broccoli. Like, I'm trying to get the food groups in, but it's kind of a cheap cheat around type of thing. And I feel like, if I had more time, maybe I could make them like a nice lunch, and a nice day. Like maybe I'm a little too hard on myself, but I feel like I cut corners to save time. And I do that in a lot of different ways. And then they have figured out how to take advantage of it, right? Like, oh, mom's in a podcast right now. Let's go sneak some Fortnite in. And I can almost guarantee that's what they're doing right now, but they're being quiet. So I'm forgiving it, right? So and that's kind of, maybe it's not the mom of the year award, but it's not the worst either. But it's just the life of a working mom. That's just what you have to put up with, and the kids kind of get used to what they can and cannot do and what they can get away with. And I don't even know if you ask them if it would bother them at all, but
We're just hard on it. We're too hard on ourselves. And we
probably,
compare ourselves. Like, what we see in others is what we what they're better at or what we would like to be better at. So then that makes us feel bad that we're not like, making them this crazy good meal. And you have so much more charity. I don't even have my kids during the day. I have one in school and one with a babysitter. So I don't have to do those things during the day in between all the things. I recently
yeah,
changed my schedule too because I was getting him at nap time. And I'm like, you know what? I need to just work through it and then be done earlier instead of just doing the nap time here. Even though he's napping, there's still that stress of like, oh no, what if he wakes up? And then there's that like getting him down for a nap, like it's just
yeah.
taking that break. I could be taking a break in a different way. So
Right, right, and then, he could wake up. What if he wakes up? You can't schedule certain things at that time because if he does wake up, it'll cause problems, and, I kinda envy you, Melissa, because Russell has asked me, "Well, if it weren't for your kids, what would be your why?" And I was stumped. I'm still
what
stumped.
do
I
you
have
mean?
no
What
idea
would your
what I
why
would do.
be? Like what? What does that mean?
Like, your why is like, what are you working toward? What is your dream? Your why is like, yeah, your goals, your dreams, your reason for being. your
It will
purpose.
always be your kids. It's still my kid. My kid's 28 years old. It's still my kid. Yeah. And I can guarantee you when your kids are an adult, Charity, they're never gonna look back and go, "Oh my god, my mother made us hot dogs for lunch." That's never gonna be a thing, Charity, but they're gonna look back and they're gonna be like, "How wonderful it was, and as a kid, I got to stay home, my mom homeschooled us, we got to play Fortnite while she was working."
Yeah, that's a
They're
dream.
gonna cherish that. They're never gonna go, "Can you believe she only made us a hot dog for lunch?"
Yeah, and then do they even eat the lunch you make them? Because that's the other frustrating thing is, like, you make them.
Yeah, half the time they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Half the
By the
time,
way,
it's
I
not
love a hot
even
dog for lunch, so
they'll eat the hot dog, but not the vegetables. It's like, "Should I just take this and put it in the garbage now, honey?"
So frustrating.
And so for people, I mean, what are some other people's whys if it's not their family?
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, as you guys both know, I've been working on Russell's memoir for like 2 years now. And he has a very interesting story about crime and addiction that really took up like the first 30 years of his life. And now his second, I kind of view his life as like two different lives. Now, his second half of life it is very much his family, it's his own personal goals of building his dream home. And,
Oh,
but a good place if you really want to discover your why will be to read that book when it comes out and really understand well of what that means. But your why is basically your purpose, why you get up every day. What are you searching for? And to keep setting goals, not just a goal for next week or a goal for next year, but once you achieve a goal, move the target, move it out again, and keep reaching for more and more goals. So you're forever growing and forever being a better person, a better version of yourself.
yeah. I'm like, I wrote down I just have a page of I call it dream big, and I just write everything down. And then I just pick the things I wanna focus on for the next 90 days. And then I break it down on a monthly, like, what are the actions I need to, like, focus on when I break down that goal. But the why, I think the why is different for each goal, like, particularly health. I feel like my why isn't I mean, yeah, I wanna be around with my kids, but it's more so for me because I look at people around me and I'm like, I do not wanna feel old and not be able to live and move. That's really what's helping me get up in the morning and, like, this is why I'm doing this. It's for me to feel good and live a longer life. But yes, my kids will benefit because I do wanna see them, get married and do all the, like, life things, but it's like, I'm so sick of starting over. Like, I just want a routine that I love and that I feel good about, and I don't need to be crazy, like, I don't need to go to the gym for 2 hours and have these crazy muscles and abs, like, no, I just wanna feel good. And a
Yeah.
couple pounds lost would be nice, like the baby weight still after 2 years, maybe 3.
Well, it's about your quality of life, right? And
Yeah.
feeling good about yourself because you can really have great days when you feel good about yourself. And I've been thinking about that a lot lately because I've been sick for like the last week from, I think, mostly pollen. But it sucks. Like when you don't feel good, I mean, it sucks. Getting up every day sucks. Having stuff to get done sucks. Whereas if you feel good, it's like so much easier, so much easier.
All the successful people I see and watch, it always goes back to health and then their routine, whether it be early in the morning, middle of the day, end of night. Most of them are early in the morning, but it's the health. When they don't do those things for their health, their whole day is off. It's like all thrown off. Everyone talks about that. For me, that's what I see.
Yeah.
But I think
Have
it's
you,
the one thing that we all push off.
It
It's
is.
the last thing on the priority list. I know for me.
again, going back to us, right? Have you found a good routine, Melissa, for you?
No, I did. I did. I got into the gym and I got a good routine down. I'm not an early morning worker outer. I have to do it in the evening. But then, like I said, my hobby after work turned into a business. So I've gotten so busy with that the gym got pushed off to the last thing. And now it's been months and I have yet to be in get working out. I mean, I'm getting older. I have to work it back into my priority list somehow. But again, it's the energy level. Like I lack the energy level by the time it gets to that point where, oh, I should, go for a walk. I should hit the
You have to
gym.
do it early.
I'm exhausted. Work drains you at the end of the day. Like you said, sitting in meetings, I'm exhausted by the time I get off of work. Exhausted.
So that's what you have to, like, change your mindset because I'm like you. I was like, "How can I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and do a workout? Like, that's ridiculous. I need coffee." And so I actually started slowly. Like, it was like a progress thing that I saw. Like, I started adding certain things and then changing, like, okay, this is working, this isn't working. So I started with like later, waking up a little bit earlier and then doing the 30-minute workout. And so I found a workout video that, or a person that does videos they change it every week. So that's been really helpful because then I'm not like, oh, I gotta drive to the gym. I gotta like get all these things. It's like you just do it. But then I added in waking up earlier and walking before the working out. And that's been huge because all you gotta do is just walk. Like you don't really have to think. And so that has been helpful to do that. And I've been doing it since like November, I feel like, just the gradual changes. I think the thing that we struggle with, or at least I do, is like I want it to be perfect from the minute I decide I'm gonna do it. I want it to be
Exactly.
figured out and perfect. And I think you guys are like that too.
Mhm.
And you have to kind of like get over that. And it's not going, you're gonna make those tweaks to make it and figure out what's holding you back too.
That's my problem. I am an all in or all out person. So I'm all in. I'm going to exercise 7 days a week. I'm going to do all of these things. And then I exhaust myself and then I stop doing it. And then once I get out of it, I'm all out. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely my problem.
I think the
Yep.
gradual things, like what do you enjoy, kind of. And for me, walking was easy to do and was enjoyable to start with. And then the strength movie. And not going
Yeah,
crazy. Like you don't need an hour. Yeah.
I started just with some squats and some arm exercises, like some because I don't want to get up, get dressed, get out of the house. I don't want to do that super early in the morning. But just starting like a little routine, it's like 30 minutes of various small exercises was enough, I think, for me. Because I don't need to sweat either. I don't need big muscles. I don't need any of that. I just want to feel better. And I think sitting at a desk all day doesn't help.
Mm-mm.
And you're right. The meetings are just draining when you go through them over and over and over. And by the end of the day, you just want to go cleanse your brain and just think about nothing. And I think that's a good I think that's a good goal for all of us for this episode is we could do something nicer for ourselves moving forward. And it
Exactly.
doesn't have to be every day. It can be every other day or just during the work week or whatever, but something that is just for you.
We'll have to do a follow up episode and check in to see if we all
Yeah, like what is
implemented
just
something
for
after
me?
this.
Yeah, we have to
Well,
check
and I
Yeah.
in.
don't even need to drive to the gym. I have an entire gym built in my house.
Okay, Melissa,
No
you have no
excuses.
excuses. Like,
I
call
have
and
no
you don't even
excuses
have
other
self
than my energy level. My
you don't
son lectures me all the time. I go, listen, I'm old. I'm
no, you're
old.
not.
I have no energy left in my body to give.
No, you are not old.
Yeah.
That's okay, so my task for you is you actually have to figure out why, because 'cause you're not gonna do it if you don't have that
I
motivation on
have a
why.
why. I know what the
It's
why is.
not
I
freaking
def
working. It's
It's
not
not
working.
working. I listen,
Sorry.
you're gonna laugh at this because I'm just a weird person, but even with the gratitude and the affirmations, I am not one that can trick myself into anything. I can't trick myself into thinking a specific way by writing stuff like that down because there's it's like the little people on your shoulder, right? Like this person's telling you to do it and this person's going, "That's bullshit. You ain't got the time for that." You're too
Flick that
tired.
little guy away.
She's
Yeah.
just trying to fool you. I can't trick myself into it. So yeah, I know my why. It's just get the energy and get in there and do it. And I also know that the more I do it, the more energy I would have for it later on, right?
Well,
But again, can't trick myself into getting in there that first time and doing it because there's always something more important to do.
yeah, you need a better why. I'm gonna tell you that. I know you have one, but I think you need a better one.
Maybe.
And I think okay, so yes, you're going to feel better as you do it, but you're going to have off days where you're exhausted and you're not going to want to do it. So like figuring out how to just get through those so that you're consistent. Everything is consistency in life. Like everything we do has to be consistent. And you're not going to be 100% super energized every single day. Even if you've been doing it for 6 months, like you're going to be tired some days.
Yeah,
It's just
for
the way
sure.
it is. I'm just kinda talking to myself too, like, "You could do it."
No, convincing yourself. Do
Yeah,
it.
I
I'm
think
gonna do it too.
yeah.
I like walking. Walking is a little less stressful for me, but I live
Oh,
in
no.
Michigan, so, it really wasn't walking weather up until it's still not. We got snow yesterday, so we're
Do
still
you have a
not in
treadmill or
walking weather.
anything?
I cannot walk on a treadmill. I get bored to tears. I love to walk outside. I can walk for 2 hours outside. You put me on a treadmill and I'm like, I can't do it. I've tried watching movies while I'm doing it, listening to podcasts. I've tried everything. It's torture.
Yeah, I don't like them either.
I don't like them either, but if you had a good why, you would do it.
If I don't like it, I can't fool myself into it with a why, Kaylee. I can't fool
I
myself.
would
The
hate to
whole
hear
time I'm like,
I
do
would
I
hear
really want to be able to get on and off the floor in 20 years? Maybe not. It's not worth it. But I do know a friend of mine had a baby and I was on the floor the other day and I went to stand up with the baby and I like had that hard time without my hands. And I was like, okay, it's time. See, and even that why and I was really mad at myself and I thought I'm getting back into the gym today and it's been 5 days and I have yet to go in there. So I still couldn't even fool myself into it with actual shaming.
Maybe
I
you'll
don't know.
hear our voices in your head, Melissa, because I'm
Maybe
gonna do it too. I have slacked since I got sick. I have not started again, and I should just do it. So I'm gonna get back to doing it, and I will let you guys know the next time around. And so, Melissa, you'll have to tell us how it goes.
I'll let you know.
well, I'll be accountable. What I
Yeah.
need to work on is not being so frustrated with my children. So
That's
that's my
not
whole
easy.
focus.
That's
Yeah,
not easy. That's not easy.
yeah. Yeah, I have the same problem. And it is it. Sometimes I wonder, is it even my fault? Because I'll say, "Will you please do that? Please do that. Please do that." And I'll ask 3, 4, 5 times very nicely, and then finally I'll be like, "Do it right now," and then they'll do it.
I know that when I was breaking it down, because that's what I get frustrated, like that constant, like, pick up your shoes, pick up, not my 2-year-old, obviously, more of a 6-year-old. And just like, I think what I want to do is break down like these, not even just chores, just like the things that are going to help mom that, it'll make me happy. Like, I want to call it like the mom happy list or something so that they're like, they're helping and they're hopefully like understanding this is helpful to me. The other thing I want to work on, I don't know if you do this because your kids are a little bit older, but I've also been frustrated on just the lack of gratitude she has, the lack of respect, the lack of just all the things that you have to teach your children. And so I'm like, how do I teach her without being so frustrated? So I'm going to pick words for the month. And my first one is respect because that's the most frustrating right now, and just like teaching her about respect. What does that mean? Showing examples. And I think if we pick the word and focus on it for the month, then progress will be made, hopefully. I don't
I
know if you
agree.
have any ideas, guys, and Melissa, you've raised a child, so you know.
Yeah. I don't even know. And my son is an amazing human being and he has all kinds of gratitude and respect, but I don't know how I got there. I can't help you. I think he just came out a wonderful human being. I don't know.
Lucky, lucky. I think
We had our
when
moment,
you look
but
you look back at it, it's like things work out,
yeah.
they work out in the end, and none of us are, like, terrible parents, we're just very hard on ourselves, and we're trying to be good and make them the best people we can, and I'm sure in the long run, things will come out well.
I think it's all what you're showing them is the person you are, right? They're learning from you more than you think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's embarrassing. It's like, okay, I thought I was a decent person, and you're just so, like, not humble and disrespectful. I don't hear it with other people. Like, she's respectful to other people. It's more of that lack of respect towards me, and, like, when we have gatherings, and she's just, like, super obnoxious and yelling at me and thinks it's funny, you know? Those are the things I'm like, "Ugh, it's embarrassing."
Yeah, that's rough. That is really disrespectful because we've all seen like that going down with some parent in the grocery store or something, and it's like, geez. But is her dad? Does he step in and
Yeah,
set her straight?
he
Yeah,
does.
you
He
need a
helps to
father
Yep,
figure. Yeah,
that
because
helps.
every once in a while they need to be put in their place, and moms aren't great for that. They're really not.
That's
Especially
so
with
true.
the mother-daughter relationship. I don't envy you there.
She's the mini version of me, and it's like, "Whoa, that's how I was?"
Boys are a little different with their mothers
Yeah,
than girls are, so you're struggling with that aspect of it.
yeah,
It might
boys.
not change. It's only
Yeah.
worse.
Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
I'm just warning you now. My mother my mother probably could give you that same advice. She's just gonna say it's just gonna get worse.
Yeah,
I know it's gonna be okay. Like, I
teenagers.
I have a really good relationship with my mom, and I think if I just keep kind of practicing the things I learned from her, you know, it's not like she doesn't wanna be around me right now 'cause she's still 6, but, I mean, obviously, I went through tough times with my mom as a teenager, but nothing that crazy. I don't remember really hating my mom. Like, people talk about, like, "Oh, I hated my mom so much." I didn't go through that. I don't remember that. I was frustrated with her, but I never like, "Oh, she's so mean."
That's such a strong word to hate your
Yeah.
mother. I mean, I've never heard that either, even from the worst of mothers. It's like you still don't hate them.
Yeah.
Well, we'll circle back to this, Kaylee and Melissa, and thank you for the conversation today. And I don't know if we found balance, but we're still going to try to work on it and find our balance in our lives. And great conversation.
Thank you.
Bye.